Hey guys, what is going on? Jebb here, and in today's video, we're going to be doing some technical analysis on the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. We're going to be talking about the blood in the streets that we see here in the cryptocurrency markets here on CoinMarketCap, and we're also going to be talking about the trading ideology and the way that you should be approaching trading and investing in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in today's video. This will be kind of similar to yesterday's video, but we're also going to be coupling in a bunch of technical analysis and talking about where I believe the market will be going in the next weeks and months. But guys, before we get into that, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you guys enjoyed this video. Also, it would be a great help to the channel if you were to sign up with Binance in the description down below. It's a great exchange. I highly recommend it, but we'll be talking more about that later on in the video. Let's get right into it. Bitcoin is currently trading around $6,300. It seems like every single time I post a new video that is related to the markets, I'm having to put crash or fell off a cliff in the title because Bitcoin keeps falling over. As we look here on the chart, the last several days for Bitcoin have been absolutely terrible, or at least that's what everyone is telling you, and at least that's what you believe, but I'm going to be dispelling that, and I'm going to be teaching you in today's video why you should actually be happy that this is happening, and I'm going to tell you why I'm actually very, very happy that this market is falling off an absolute cliff. But Bitcoin, like I said, is trading around $6,300. Its market capitalization is threatening to fall under $100 billion for the first time in a very long time. It's down 7% in the last 24 hours. Pretty much every single cryptocurrency, I do believe every single cryptocurrency is down in the last 24 hours. Let's see. I don't see a single green candlestick here, or a single green number here. Even Tether, the subject of my April Fool's video telling you guys to invest in, is down. It turns out I may have been right with that April Fool's video, even though you guys thought I was trolling. But nevertheless, Bitcoin is down. The Bitcoin dominance is continuing to rise. It broke through 40%. We talked about how if it breaks through 40%, that's really going to be a big signal that there's more risk aversion coming into the market. And of course, there is obviously a lot of risk aversion in the market right now, considering how bloody the markets have been over the last couple of days and weeks. Bitcoin threatened to come above 40% here recently, and it never did. We came down here to about 34% as it looked like, or about 37% here, as it looked like Bitcoin was going to have a little bit of an uptrend back when it bounced off of like the $7,100, $7,200 region. Unfortunately, it didn't do that, and we've been falling recently. And as we can see, Bitcoin has broken through the 40% barrier. So that is something to keep in mind. Market capitalization is almost down to $250 billion. As we can see, we're hovering around 262 right here. Up here, we have 266 as I refresh the page, yes. But we did have a low down here of about 300 billion. We have solidly broken that now. But pretty much the entire market is red. The first thing I want to talk about, guys, is the mindset that you need to use when you're trading Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, stocks, anything that has an actual financial market around it like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies do. I want to explain to you why seeing a site like this on CoinMarketCap should actually very much excite you. You guys should be bouncing off the walls when you see something like this, because guys, most of you guys, I know my demographics pretty well for this channel, and a lot of you guys got into cryptocurrency in the last 6 months. A lot of you guys were probably not back here when Bitcoin was down around $2,000 and got in down there when I did. A lot of people got into cryptocurrency around here. Tell me in the comments if you're one of those people. You have never seen Bitcoin this low. I remember when 6,000 was the all-time high for Bitcoin. I've been around for a while. Not very long in the grand scheme of things, but in cryptocurrency, 11 months is like a decade. So I've been here for a while. $6,000 is a great deal, and I really wish that I had held on to Bitcoin when it was a lot less than that. But guys, Bitcoin is falling. It could continue to fall. Bitcoin could fall down to $5,000. It could fall down to $3,000. I don't have a clue where it's going to go, and no one who tells you they do is correct. No one knows where Bitcoin is going to ultimately go to with any kind of certainty. The fact of the matter is, when Bitcoin continues to go down, and when cryptocurrencies continue to go down, and you see red numbers right here with a negative in front of them with a percent sign after them, that is basically your signal that the cryptocurrency you were looking to buy into is on discounts. Bitcoin is 7% off today from where it was yesterday. It's about 70% off from where it was 6 months ago. The fact is that if you continue to invest as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies trend downwards, you're going to be dropping the average of the value of all your Bitcoins. When you buy cryptocurrencies, and you buy them when you're going down in the market, you're averaging out the value of all your cryptocurrencies. So if you buy one Bitcoin at $10,000 or $20,000 and you buy at $10,000, you buy one on each time, then the average value or the average price of your portfolio when you bought it is $15,000. As you continue to do that, as the price continues to go down, you want to be adding more and more and more and getting more and more greedy as the markets continue to go down, and be adding more and more to your portfolio. I'm not telling you to buy, I'm just telling you some very, very basic things relating to technical analysis, and this is one of them. or relating to trading and investing rather. And this is one of them, because Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, this is something that I've talked about in many videos, but I think you guys need to hear it again. As Bitcoin and crypto continues to trend downwards, and we see this trend down here, and we will be doing some technical analysis on this in a second, but as Bitcoin's price continues to trend downwards, guess what is trending upwards? Like I said, I've talked about this in so many videos. As Bitcoin continues to trend downward, its price continues to trend downward, the actual fundamental intrinsic utility value of the underlying asset that is Bitcoin, or the asset that is Bitcoin, it's not even underlying, of the asset that is Bitcoin that we're investing in here continues to rise. So the price goes down, the fundamental value, the intrinsic value, the utility value, the value of the cryptocurrency, if it wasn't up to the market and you could just somehow assign that value based on what the commodity can do and how well it's adopted and all those things, that continues to rise as the price continues to go down. And as the gap between those two values increases, that allows for larger bull runs in the future. As Bitcoin is trending downwards down here, as we're going down, you're able to get Bitcoin cheaper. Right now, you can buy Bitcoin on Bitfinex, which we're on here, for $6,250 as of recording this video. I'm recording this video about an hour and 8 minutes before it goes live, so this is rather recent. You could buy Bitcoin right now, and as Bitcoin continues to trend downwards, there's always new developments, new kinds of research being done into Bitcoin and blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. There's all kinds of new regulatory clarity that's coming out. There's a lot of good bullish news in the market lately, but the market is trending downwards because people are getting scared when they don't need to be. And you guys, you don't need to get scared. When a cryptocurrency market or any market is down 60 to 70%, and the fundamental value of that market has done nothing but go up, that is a great signal to buy. Now, $6,200 might not be the exact bottom, but you're not always going to be able to call the exact bottom. So guys, I do encourage you to think about investing. I'm not telling you to invest, but I am telling you guys to look at this with a clear head rather, and try to come to a conclusion on your own, with your own research, if now would be a good time. I think it is, but I'm just one guy. You gotta come up with that on your own. Now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, let's do a little bit of technical analysis on the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency charts. Tell me if that helped you in the comments down below, because I do think that a lot of people are approaching this market wrong. I think part of that is because a lot of the people in this market, this is the first market they've ever been in. They're just getting into this market. They haven't been in the market long. They got in at the top. They may have bought it $18,000 or something, and they're losing money. But the last thing I want to touch on, I forgot about this. Let's talk about this before we get into the TA. You don't actually lose money until you sell the actual cryptocurrency or the asset. A lot of people know this, but everyone seems to forget it. Just because your portfolio value is going down, that doesn't mean anything unless you sell it. If your house is worth $300,000 when you buy it, and it goes up to $600,000 because the real estate market is doing very well, but then the real estate market falls apart and it goes down to $150,000. Well, yeah, you had a gain there, but that gain didn't mean anything because your value of your property went down when the actual market tanked. But that still doesn't mean anything because you're not about to sell your house. You wait another 5 years and then your house goes up in value to $450,000 and you sell at $150,000 at a net gain. Of course, we're not taking into account taxes and everything, but you don't actually lose any money or make any money until you sell. So that's why I do recommend hodling, because I do believe in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets, and unless anything fundamental happens to them to absolutely destroy them, like a 51% attack on Bitcoin, there's no reason to sell yet. So there's no real reason to sell. If you guys have to pay your bills or something, that's one thing, but you got to be careful investing in the first place if you need to do that with the money that you have. But let's get into some technical analysis because we're already oh my gosh, we're already 8 minutes into this video. I'm very good at ranting. Bitcoin, of course, was in this consolidation pattern. It didn't have a flat bottom before, but now it kind of does. A lot of people are arguing whether or not this is a flat bottom consolidation pattern with a triple bottom, I should say, because we are in the last couple of hours breaking below about $6,400, $6,500, wherever you want to put this little level of support, this little area of support, because support levels don't have to be perfect levels. They can be areas of support. I talked about that in my support and resistance line video. These areas can be areas of support and resistance. So I do think that this will count as a triple bottom until Bitcoin breaks below $6,500 or below $6,000. If we break below there, I do consider that a full-blown breakout of this consolidation pattern, and I think the market will reflect that. And I think a lot of people are believing that that's what's happening here, which is why we're getting a lot more downside in the last couple of minutes. But as we can see with this large wicks here, if we come into the 5-minute chart, I normally don't like trading on the 5-minute chart. I don't even like looking at it because this is too close-minded, too closed in on the chart. But we did get a nice little bounce here. As we can see, we came all the way down here to about $6,100. This could be the bottom. This could very well be the bottom, and we just saw it in the last half an hour. We'll see. Time will tell. I think we won't go below $6,000, but I also thought we wouldn't go below $7,200. It seems like the market has other plans, though. We could go as low as $5,000. We could go as low as $3,000. I don't believe that will happen because of what I outlined earlier with the actual underlying intrinsic value of the asset continuing to rise. But this is a asset class that is mostly traded by people, well, by people, not necessarily so many trading bots. And a lot of people in this market aren't necessarily as experienced as people in like stock markets. So this market is a little bit less predictable than a market like that. But there is one last thing I want to talk about here. Well, not one last thing, but let's also talk about the RSI, because the RSI is very important. I'd like to point out the RSI on the day chart has not been this overextended since February, when we bottomed out here around $6,000. Funnily enough, we're bottoming out around the same price, and the RSI is sitting around the same value of around $26 to $25. As you can see right here just a little bit, my chart just flickered. As you can see right here just a little bit, we are pretty low on the RSI. Whenever RSI comes down to the 30 region, that normally does signal a revitalization of the market and a coming pending bull run. As we can see, when it happened here in April, we got about a 40% uptick. In February, we had a 100% uptick. And the time before that, when we came down here to $3,000, we ran all the way to $20,000. So that does indicate that we are going to see a bounce in the next couple of days. Whether that bounce lasts a week, a month, carries us on into a bull run, we will see. But we do need to break this downtrend, and if we do get a bounce down here when we're around 24 on the RSI, meaning that we're oversold and need to have more buyers come back in, and that we probably will see more buyers come back in, that we probably will end up breaking this downtrend if we can manage to stay above $6,000. But this is like the last bastion. The bulls have to defend this. We need to stay above $6,000. If we fall below $6,000, that's probably going to add weeks or months onto this bear market before we have a nice turnaround period. The last thing I want to talk about before we wrap it up is kind of another trading mindset thing like I was talking about earlier. Not so much in the same vein, though. When I first started YouTube, it was back here. I believe the day was it was in the second half of November. I don't remember the exact day that I first uploaded. I think it was this candlestick right here. It was the 16th of November. I believe it was the 16th of November. You can go back in the channel and check. But the first video I ever posted, I was talking about how this market is overextended and how Bitcoin does not need to have, it needs to have a deeper pullback than what we saw here. We pulled back from 8,000 to 5,500-ish. And I mentioned that this market does need to have a pullback. And what do you know? Bitcoin ran to $20,000, of course, because, you know, the market just hates me like that. But as this market was running up here, and as we got up here like 94 on the RSI all the time, I was saying, guys, this market is massively overextended. All the technical analysis is telling us that this is about to turn around. RSI is massively overbought. And the market just simply cannot run up this fast. It doesn't have the underlying intrinsic value, like I've talked about, to warrant a $20,000 Bitcoin yet. Not this fast, anyway. That's what I was saying. And I was nowhere near as experienced in technical analysis back then as I am now. Not to say I'm exactly a god in technical analysis now. But nevertheless, the market did turn around when we all said it would. It was about a month delayed, but it did turn around. And now everybody is saying that the bottom is close because, again, we're getting overextended on the RSI. And because, again, we've been saying for so long that this market is about to turn around. Just like how it did in December, I do believe this market is about to turn around. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be next month. It could be 2 months from now. It could be 6 months from now. I do think it's going to happen in 2018, and I do believe 2019 is going to be at least somewhat of a bullish year, and I think we still do have, I think it is still in the cards to see a return to all-time high in 2018. It might not happen, though. It might have to be put off until 2019. I think I said 2019 earlier. I do think there's a possibility that we can return to all-time high in 2018, although we may have to push it off to 2019. But anyway, guys, I just want to encourage all of you guys not to get skeptical and not to get fearful about this market. I've seen many comments about people saying, well, I invested in cryptocurrency when I was more financially stable. I bought in at 18,000. Now I've lost my job. If that's you and you have to pull out of cryptocurrency at a loss so that you can pay your bills, look, life sucks. You got to do what you got to do, guys. I'm not saying that that's what you ideally want to do, but if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can tell you other than that. But if you don't absolutely direly need the money that is in your cryptocurrency portfolio and you have the financial stability to allow yourself to hold on to it, you probably should, because the bottom, even if it's not $6,000, even if it's at $3,000, or hell, even if it goes down to $1,200 and we retrace all the way to the 2013 all-time high, you don't lose that money until you sell it. You don't take a loss in Bitcoin or any asset until you sell that asset. if you bought Bitcoin at $20,000 and Bitcoin runs to $50 million, let's say, it's not going to because that'd be like a quadrillion dollar market. Let's say Bitcoin runs to $500,000 and you bought it at $20,000, but it went down to $3,000. Well, it sucked while it went down to $3,000, but since you didn't sell until it went to $500,000, you still made a profit. So guys, that's what this video is all about. I want you guys to keep faith because the valuation of the underlying asset of this market, even though the price is going down, the actual intrinsic value is continuing to rise. We're seeing lots of bullish news, and I do think 2019 and probably the second half of 2018, to be totally honest, are still going to be bullish years, and you can still make a lot of gains in a bear market, as we've talked about in so many videos. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, but before we close the video, I do want to ask you to go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I think I do post some good stuff over there. You can get updates on when the videos come out on Instagram if your sub feed isn't notifying you. And also, guys, if you want to help out the channel and you like this channel and you want to actually help me out financially so that I can continue to bring you guys good content, I highly recommend signing up for Binance. That is an affiliate link in the description. If you sign up for that link, not only will you get access to an amazing cryptocurrency exchange with a great UI, tons of tokens, and really good charting software, you will also be helping out this channel because part of your trading fees, instead of going to Binance, will go to me so that I can continue to bring you guys what is hopefully quality content. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Like I said, tell me in the comments down below what you think of the market. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you freaking out? Are you really happy that we have some massive discounts here in the cryptocurrency space? But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.